Hello, and welcome to an introductory chat about rituals. So, why a chat about this? Because at Kitchen Witch HQ, we have noticed that one of the queries that we get most often is about rituals, how to do them, why to do them, etc. And although on both the Kitchen Witch Coven YouTube channel and Rachel's channel, YouTube channel, there are quite a number of recordings of different rituals, we have decided that we're going to do some more on different subjects to try and allay people's concerns, anxiety, worries about doing them. So, back to the beginning. What is a ritual? So excuse me while I just get this up because I will never remember it otherwise. So the dictionary definitions of what a ritual is. The first one is a way of doing something in which the same actions are done in the same way every time. And the other definition is a fixed set of actions and words, especially as part of a religious ceremony. Makes absolute sense, doesn't it? Why do we get hung up on rituals? So I've tried to unpick this a bit to try and work out why people get worried and anxious as soon as you say the word ritual. So what I'll start by saying is you've probably done several rituals already today without even thinking about it. I would suggest that you have a set pattern of things that you do when you get up in the morning. And if that pattern is interrupted, that your day doesn't feel right for the rest of it. Just putting that out there. I would think most of us have a bedtime routine. You see, routine, ritual, is there much difference? When you look at the dictionary definitions, a set pattern of things. How you make a cup of tea, how you make a sandwich, how you prepare and chop your vegetables for dinner. Everyone's got their own way of doing it. Next time you're around a friend's house for a chat, instead of just chatting while they're making tea or coffee or making you a sandwich or doing whatever, chat, but watch what they do, because I will virtually guarantee that the way they make even a cup of tea will be different in some way to the way you would do it. Let's face it, there are tea rituals. Japanese have wonderful tea ceremonies. So why are we so fearful about doing rituals when we're actually doing them all the time? How if you commute to work, whether you drive or whether you go on the train or whether you go on a bus, there will be a set pattern that you follow to do just to get to work. Just saying. Anyway, why do we get so anxious soon as somebody says to us to do a ritual? So I think a lot of it's fear of not getting it right. So in a group, I can understand that because you're in front of people. However, if you're in a supportive group, and I have been fortunate that I have, they wouldn't tell you off. Now, having said that, I've been around long enough that I have heard from friends who are now no longer with those particular groups, and in some of those cases, those groups no longer exist, where they were told off for mispronunciation. I'm the queen of mispronunciations. So they got told off because they'd mispronounced something. They got told off because they'd done something in the wrong order, or they'd missed a bit and jumped because they were so nervous. They missed a bit, and they got told off in front of everyone. That is not a supported group. That's a bullying group. And as I say, they either left and then found out that the group folded. There are still those groups out there. I still get the occasional story from people, but it shouldn't be like that. Not even in a group. The group should be supportive of each other. If you're a solitary and you're doing it on your own, do the gods mind? I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, as I say, I'm the queen of mispronunciations. I've certainly never been struck around, from a great height by a thunderbolt because I've mispronounced somebody's name. And in a group, when I've messed up, I've said it. If it's come to pronunciation, I've done my best. I'll either say, I hope that's good enough, or I will actually say, can I repeat that? And I've actually done that in a ritual, a group ritual. I've probably still got it wrong, but at least I've tried and I've put my hands up and I've said, have I done anything else wrong? Yes, numerous times. I've gone the wrong way. I've jumped to, because I've been so busy trying to concentrate that I've missed a bit and I've jumped to the next bit, and I've just held my hands up and said, sorry, I'll go back to where I'm meant to be. And I've never been told off. So I'm very lucky in that, I've been in supportive groups. So where does this fear stem from? And I think a lot of it this is me. This is me trying to unpick it. And for me, it would be what's going up in there. We are, I am my own worst enemy. I will negatively self-talk myself out of doing anything, given a chance. That's if I decide to listen to myself, which I don't often do. But I think we actually do it to ourselves. Do our rituals have to be perfect all the time? No, we're human. As long as the intent is there and the intent that we have is pure, if we mispronounce something, if we say something in the wrong order, it doesn't matter. Interestingly, when I was looking at this, there are some countries where they're not allowed to make anything absolutely perfectly. One of the things that one of the sources specifically said about a mosaic wall in one of the Middle Eastern countries, and there was a picture of this mosaic wall, and it is absolutely stunning. But there is one flaw, and it's so tiny that unless you were up really, really close, you wouldn't see it. But it's there. Because to them, nothing is perfect except their God. So they cannot make anything absolutely perfect. I think that's quite interesting. It's quite an interesting take on it. So, why this chat? Because, as I said, we are going to do more ritual recordings for people to watch, and hopefully to gain, I want to say courage, but it's not really courage. It's give it a go. Just do it. Just give it a go. You can't do it wrong if you're doing it for yourself. So what are we going to be using? We're going to be using Rachel's book, The Art of Ritual, which is absolutely full of information about what rituals are, why you do them, what you might need, and I say might because you might not, as well as lots of examples of rituals. And I say examples because, as Rachel herself says, make them your own, adapt them. And that's part of the plan for this little series of videos and blogs. Probably also going to be using Witchcraft into the Wilds. Very likely to be using Curative Magic. And possibly a witch fruit every season. Now, as I said, in a group, it's fine to have lots of words because you're sharing them amongst people. It's not just one person doing the whole thing. For me, if I'm doing a ritual for myself, I need to keep it simple. If I've got pages and pages to say or read, it's not going to work because I'm going to lose my focus. I need something that's going to get me into that space where I need to be to undertake the work that I want to do. So although we'll be using the rituals in the book, a lot of the time they'll be adapted, hopefully to give you an idea of what you can do. You don't have to do it as it says on the page. You can look at it and then you can change it to suit you and how you work. So that's the plan with this little series. So that's our plan. Now, will that be of use to you? Maybe, hopefully, yes. However, if you have any specific rituals that you would like us to cover, or topics of rituals that you would like us to cover, please let us know in the comments, because then we will be able to actually do more that you want to see, that you want to have an example of how you can adapt something to suit you. In the meantime, obviously keep an eye on the blogs and the YouTube channels. Obviously go and buy Rachel's books if you haven't already got them. Highly recommend them. And in the meantime, I will see you next time.